exemplify these kind of things on a place like this, that will have a great meaning. People will be encouraged, students will be encouraged by looking at you, and they will definitely strive for better excellence. So today's theme, the theme of the topic which we are discussing, I'm not taking so much time because many of the speakers are there in queue. So I will just give you kind of a sense for this very agenda which we are taking up. Innovation is a buzzword in today's society. We are living in knowledge economy. So what was the transformation? Why education has become so important in the economy or economic progress? That we must have to understand. And for that very reason, I'm just giving you an example. I was following biotechnology patents from my heart, and I visited many universities like University of Utah in the United States. I was a resource person there also. So by following that discussion, what I tried to catch up, that what was the change which has been in the sector of education. So initially that biotechnology, which was just restricted to academia, has been transcended to industry. That was a great paradigm shift where the academia was making close connection with the industry. So that was the reality which has been realized right now, but not fully. So we have to understand what are the growing transformations in the society, in the economy, at the international level or national level. And as many speakers have pointed out, that every country has its own peculiar needs. The necessities which are there in one country is very specific to its socio-economic needs and other requirements. So we have to first of all identify what is the market demand. That is one aspect of the education. That you must create the skilled, you can say, workforce, which can be helpful in economy. But this is not the only aspect which we have to look into. Because on the one hand, we are pushing so much on this very aspect, like there must be some skilled workforce. But creating only skilled workforce is not the only agenda. We have to create the visionaries. We have to create students who can reach the excellence, who can dream big. And when you create something, when you exemplify to them that you can do it, then they are passionate about doing that, about following that. So I must link, how many students are from TD College? Is there any? If that not, that is very much here to this. I belong to that very college. I started from there as a science graduate, and then I did my LLB, and then I shifted to Banaras University where I did my LLM and PhD. And now I am professor in Delhi University, two of the universities which has been talked so much, like Banaras University and Delhi University. So by saying that if I can start from here and reach there, so everybody should have this very clear in their mind that if they put 100%, 200%, they can reach more than that. So the thing is that what is needed, as pointed out very well by my previous professor, that why we are not able to attract the international students. The main reason for that is we are not going to create a kind of syllabus which is attractive to other students who are living in different countries. So we have to offer something which may be valuable for the global education needs, not only peculiar to a particular local needs. So you can say good combination of both, which must cater the needs of here, as well as which must give a promising start for those who are coming from abroad. So that must be inculcated in every syllabus. We at Delhi University are also going through that very phase where we are questioning ourselves that it is not, attracting foreign students has nothing, no content which would be more globalized. So they are putting heat to it, but we have to do a little more. Next thing is that we have to focus upon our strength. One strength is our software industry. So in software industry, if we can excel, there will be other industries where we can also contribute. So the major reason, we have so many things going on in bioinformatics, biotechnology and many other related fields. But what we are lacking is the skilled workforce. So why we are lacking? I was encountered with one of the workshops which I attended as a resource person. I delivered a talk, and I was surprised to learn that many of the potential scientists which were there, they were not confident about how they can proceed with their value of patents and other stuff related to intellectual property. So why? So someone has asked that we have done something, but we are not confident to proceed with the patents. So they asked me, how can I proceed? So I questioned them. The answer lies with them only. If you are making a genuine effort, you have all that confidence. You know better than me that what you are doing. I can help you out from the procedure, but I cannot help you out with the research because that is your domain. So ask yourself what you are doing is genuine or not. Whether you have put efforts to look into what others are doing and it is very, very distinct from that. If that is there, there must always be an call to proceed. So this is the reason why we are lagging. We are lagging because either we are adopting so much, we lose our originality. That is one thing. And because I teach in Delhi University intellectual property, so I am very much about the originality. I always encourage the students that you must be original. I don't want that you should write in a very polished manner, but what I need that you must come up with original expression. So if we teach them like that have that very originality intact, we can make a difference in the world. And we have very good examples. If you take the example of innovation, you take the example of ISRO. We are doing miracles there. But we are not, translating those kind of stuff in other sectors. Why? Because of many reasons. I cannot elaborate all these things right now here. But I am focusing on the nature of the education which must be transformed. We are so much theoretical. Our researchers, when I talk to other foreign professors, what they do, they specify the topic of research, which actually needs something to be explored and which may add upon what's already existing. But what we expect in our universities, it must be of 300 pages, 320 pages, 400 pages. So we always go for that. We don't go for the micro research which is being needed. And that could be needed by a kind of system which always evaluate what has already been researched and what is not. Few days back, on 27th, I was in an event where few guidelines of UGC were issued recently. So this thing has been discussed there also, that in the field of research and innovation, we are not coming up. First of all, we are lacking the base, and base is the key in this very world. If you think that you have a base and you will start after 10 years, 20 years, you are out of the game. Because you have to keep pace with the time, with the world. So next thing is that if there is a system which always keep on evaluating and have a database that this area, this research has been done, it gives way to another area, some area, then that would be more valuable, not only for India, for other countries also. Like when we go for the data, because we are in a knowledge economy driven by the data, we are in an education system all over the world where empirical research is being taken care of. But we lack the data, we lack the diversified data, if I say. So what is the reason behind that? The reason behind that is there is no organized way of doing that. We started creating it with ICMR, you might be knowing, Indian Council of Medical Research. They are going for some data, big data for the genomics and something. So likewise, in science something is happening, but that must also started to be happen in other areas, like in the intellectual property rights, patent office has been transformed a bit by having something online in place. But I was just wondering how many specific gene patents have been there. It was very difficult to mine it because their data was very broadly classified. This I had shared with a foreign professor that we don't have data, and he said very well that it is not the responsibility of the government to provide all the data. It is the responsibility of the teachers, innovators, and these kind of people who can make research by having that available data. So try to transcend this kind of innovative approach in our Indian education system. We can create miracles. And the need is that this disconnect between the urban students and the rural students must also be fulfilled. Because they can do everything. I started from here and now I am competing with every professor in the world. And for your information, I just want to share that I wrote a book also on biotechnology and intellectual property rights, which was published in Springer, and now I am going to attend the conference which was on biotech innovation. So I'm not just exemplifying myself. I'm just putting this thing to all these young chaps that they can put it in their efforts, and they must. Forums like this could be a connecting forum for that, which could be utilized by them by having a connection with these kind of networks so that they can excel in their education. Thank you very much.